breaking news! BookTok is over. As I'm making this video right now, TikTok is set up to get banned on January 19th. Now, whether or not that actually happens is kind of besides the point, because this video is more so about us wrapping up the 2024 book trend year and heading into 2025, because BookTok is getting a whole makeover. If you're new around this channel, my name is Beck Leavesley and I'm a YA fantasy author, and my debut novel is coming out summer 2025. So really exciting stuff, but a little bit problematic for this kind of video because I definitely have my own opinions about trends that I like, trends that I don't like, trends that I will read, trends that I won't read, because I'm very immersed in this whole narrative surrounding BookTok because I've written my own books. So I took it to YouTube community to ask you guys what were some of your least favorite book trends of 2024, and you guys dropped some tea, let me tell you. Number 1, enemies to lovers, but the reason that they were enemies is like a stupid misunderstanding. I saw this popping up a lot. This was talking about enemies to lovers being a misunderstanding. This was talking about just miscommunication as an entire trope. Personally, I see some books do this really badly, and I also see some books do this really, really well. I will say I get a little fed up when I see tons of people marketing their books as enemies to lovers, but it's really just...
we kind of didn't understand each other or got off on the wrong foot the first time we met, and then we're too stubborn to ever give the other person a chance to even prove themselves to be a normal human being.
So yeah, I see a lot of people getting tired about how the enemies to lovers trope has been misconstrued and misapplied to stories that could have been totally fine as just rivals to lovers or frenemies to lovers, or we didn't really get along at first to lovers. It doesn't have to always be enemies to lovers. Number 2, the strong female lead that needs no man but is for some reason in a love triangle with the most two-dimensional men ever created.
Adlet on God, no cap.
This I thought was a good point, because this wasn't a comment that was just saying, ooh, I hate love triangles. I think this is a very valid point because it's mixed messaging coming from the author. And I think that's what readers are getting tired of, is when an author is sending mixed signals to the reader and they're like, she's a strong, independent woman. She doesn't need any man. She's a corporate girly. She's a baddie. She does this and she's that and she's independent and she's cool. But then they put her in a love triangle with paper cutouts of human beings, and she ends up with a boy who was like a bicycle seat in another life. And I think that's what people are getting tired of, and that's why this comment stuck out to me, because I'm sorry, we're not doing that in 2025. Let our intentions be clear, please. I thought this was a good one. Number 3, the idea that tropes are cliche or bad. I feel like BookTok has sort of started this cyclical event in which a trope gets blasted to the very ends of the earth, and then there's this counter-strike reaction in which everyone hates that trope, and literally if they see that trope, they throw up in their mouths because they just can't stand to hear about it anymore. And then we swing back to this idea that tropes aren't bad, they're not cliche, and we should stop hating on books that use tropes to market their story. And as a reader, you consume tropes every single book you read. You will never read a book that doesn't have a trope in it. And so yeah, I think this is a great thing to bring into 2025. This is the big one that I saw all the time. I could not get away from it no matter what happened. And I really, really hope we leave this in 2024, and that is spice in YA books. This person said, when people bring down the age ratings of popular BookTok books so much so that young kids can read it. For example, saying that a book that is clearly YA is fine for 12-year-olds just because there isn't a spicy scene. I think as a whole, something that we need to leave in 2024 is this idea that every single book has to be YA. Surely not every book on the market is YA. And we need to start breaking down and making sure we're recognizing these specific age categories. We need to make middle grade cool again. We need to start giving it the Goodreads Awards. I don't care if Rick Riordan wins it every single time. We need to have that established. Same thing with YA. We need to stop pretending that these books that are clearly new adult, but publishers and authors are too scared to label their books as new adult, automatically get bumped down to YA, but it's fine. They only have one spicy scene. And personally, my books are YA, and I think it's a little crazy that I have to clarify everywhere on my social media, and whenever I'm talking to people, I have to clarify and say it's clean YA. YA should be clean. It shouldn't have spice in it. I saw this all over. So this wasn't just one comment on my YouTube. This was like 25 comments were people saying they are sick of spice in YA. They should be able to pick up a YA book and not have to check if there's spice in it. Along this line, the next thing that people are sick of is asking, where is the smut? Is it spicy? To every book people see, even if it's about teenagers or if it's not romance focused. Now, my personal problem with this trend might not be the reason you're thinking of, but let me paint the picture for you. You go onto Instagram, you scroll, you find a reel about a book. The first thing you do is you go to the comments and you start typing, is this spicy? I don't know what's happened to the whole like internet space and what it's done with our social skills and our brain capacity to understand and collect information, but why would that be the first thing you did? You could have scrolled in the comments and seen if anyone else asked that, because what happens is that ends up being the first thing people do instead of just checking if someone else asked it and if it was answered. So now you have not one, not two, not three, but sometimes like 12 comments on one post asking if it's spicy. The other thing, you don't have to comment it at all. Could you not like go to the author's page or Google the book? Like, Google's free. Now that's my problem with this, is not necessarily that it's an invalid question, because that's the thing, is people are going to be like, well, I do want to know if it has spice in it, where I think that's totally valid, but I also think there's so many other tools you have at your disposal to figure that out yourself without putting it in the comment section, because I can guarantee you authors and readers are sick of having to scroll through comments that just ask, is it spicy? Is it spicy? Is it spicy? Is it spicy? It's getting so bad people are asking if Maze Runner is spicy. You could just Google it. This next one had me gagged. They said, people who lose their mind when they see someone's book has a broken spine, dog-eared pages, and writing. Not every book has to be in pristine condition. Some of y'all needed to hear that. If someone showed you a book that they were reading, a book they had bought, and like it had a dog-eared page, would the first words out of your mouth be, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do that, you psychopath? Now, maybe some of you guys are really mean in real life and I'm totally missing the point here, but I feel like social media has turned us into thinking it's acceptable to have these social interactions that you would never have in real life. I can't imagine someone showing me a book and instantly making them feel bad for the condition that their book is in. My favorite book that I own is my family's copy of The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, and it straight up doesn't have a cover. It's literally destroyed, and I just know that if I put that on the internet, the whole comment section's just gonna be filled of,
How could you do that to a book? You must get it rebound. You must make it look nice.
I like it like that. It literally does not matter what someone else's book looks like. So stop making people feel bad for it. I'm so sorry, but the book does not have a soul. The book is not being hurt. It is not a sentient being. If that's how the person likes their book, that's how they like their book. Okay, so that is the wrap up on your guys' least favorite book trends. And now we're gonna get into my least favorite book community trends. AI generators. It's done. We're not doing that in 25. Specifically, I think calling people that use AI to generate their art, calling them prompters or writers or artists, like, I'm so sorry, but you are a user of artificial intelligence. That is as politely as I will say it. We're not gonna make it sound cool here. It's not cool. It's lame. My next one is judging someone for how many books they read a year. I feel like every single year we get to the end of the year and people start posting their reading wrap-ups. They start posting how many books they read, what the books were, what percentage, how long they were. No matter how many books anyone read, there is always just an absolute onslaught of judgment upon these people.
I can't believe you read 300 books in a year. That is so stupid. There's no way you did that.
Who cares? And if you somehow didn't read like 40 books in a year, then you're not a reader. When we get to the end of the year 25, I better not see people coming in with the judgment of being like,
How dare you read that many books in a year? How dare you not read more books in a year? Like,
it just doesn't matter. The audiobook debate. I want to see the audiobook debate end. No more. We're not bringing this energy into 2025. Every single year we go through this again and again. People are asking, does it count as reading if you listen to an audiobook? I think it does. I think it doesn't. Doesn't matter. And maybe this is the thing. This is the energy we need to bring in 25. Maybe people just need to be a lot more nonchalant. But I have never once cared about the format in which my friend read a book. Like, if my friend came up to me and was like, oh my gosh, I finished this really cool book the other day. I was listening to it in the car. I'd be like, hold up. You listen to it in the car? You do realize that doesn't count as reading, right? I would never say that to a person. I don't care what format they read a book in. Personally, I think it's amazing that you can have a story exist in different formats. I think that's incredible. Something we're not gonna be doing in 25 is shaming people for accessibility of stories. My mind boggles that this is even a conversation we keep having over and over again. Why? I feel like this goes with another one that was said earlier, but shaming people for small book collections or for using the library. You're telling me that you're going to shame someone, make them feel bad about themselves because they used the library? This is one that makes me mad. When people are posting their library hauls, like, let them post their library hauls. They want to be cute too, and they want to like show the books that they enjoyed and the books that they got and the books that they have sitting on their shelf right now. Who cares if it's from the library? Support your local libraries. This is the one that gets me. It's when people see that and then they comment, poor core. No. Nope. No. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. No. 90% of the books that I read are from the library. I have a wonderful library that is extremely close to my house, and that's how I have access to books. I think in 2025, we should support using the library. I think instead we should make it normal for people to go to the library, because here's the thing, it is normal to go to the library, but social media has made you think that that's something that only poor people do. Bruh. Can you imagine saying that to someone in real life? They showed you their book haul and they showed you that they got from the library and you're like,
that's poor people behavior.
I'm sorry, but classism is over in 2025. It's over in 2025. It's not happening. We're not doing it. Like, I'm so sorry, but in 2025 is the year of maturity. It is the year of professionalism. We are cool. We're collected. Because here's the thing. People get mad that people hate on BookTok and hate on the book community so much, but we're doing it to ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves. We're creating the drama here. So 2025 is the year of being chill, being cool. Don't read books you don't want to read. Scroll when you don't like something that you see. If you hate audiobooks, listen to one. Do something new for a change. Get a light. Anyways, there was your, I don't know, maybe it was a breath of fresh air on the internet. It probably just made a lot of people really mad, but there are the trends of 2024 that we are over in 2025. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like it. If you didn't, make sure you comment down below what you didn't like about the video and talk with people about it. Yeah, here's to hopes that 2025 will be our best book year ever. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be a great year. I'm excited for my book to come out, so obviously I'm a little biased about my hopes for 2025. I think my book just might be the coolest trend of 2025. That was an extremely narcissistic thing for me to say, but I'm gonna leave it with that note. So, see you in the next video.